What's in here? Welcome to my project box. This sarcophagus is so cool. I just had to have it for my next project. And well, we've got some shoes. We've got some butterfly shoes and some skull and dagger shoes, courtesy of Lady Dynamite Creates. They are available on her Etsy channel. And I am your host, Dancing Johari, and welcome to my channel. And what else is in here? Oh, a beautiful G3 Cleopatra. I love these new G3 dolls, and I've only customized one, so let's use this one for today's custom. This is a commission piece for an associate of my husband's. She really wanted a mini-me of her own, so we're going to make it for her. So first, let's strip the doll down to its bare basics. We're going to remove the clothes, the shoes, the jewelry. Come on. There we go. Oh, belt too, of course. Oh wow, look at the detail on this. They've really upped their game a lot lately at Mattel, I think. Getting the headbands off is going to be a little bit tricky, so be careful if you try to do this. Just take your time, get the hair as much as possible out of the way, and get the little plastic bands cut. Okay, I think I got everything moved out of the way. I should be able to get it this time. There we go. Wow, I do have to say, she has really cool hair. And it comes off easily once you get the tabs off. We're going to take off her hands to take off her clothes, of course. Okay. Well, enough customizers have customized a lot of these dolls, so I'm sure you guys know that they've added another joint. Although I've noticed not every G3 doll has one. I recently was given one that did not have this extra joint on it. But they articulated the chest, so now there's a little bit more movement in the chest. But the drawback is they don't lean as far back as they used to. Next, we're going to take off all of that beautiful hair. Oh, it's a shame, but the person that I'm making this for has brown hair, and she really wants, it to look like her, so off it comes. Don't worry, I'll save that for another project later down the road. Once all the hair is cut off nice and short, we're going to put her in boiling water for a couple minutes. Now, as per Delightful, we're not going to take this off all in one smooth step. It's going to take some stages. So after the first soak, we're going to try to put our best to pull it over the first bump. These, if you rush it too hard, you will break the neck very easily, and I'm trying very hard not to break the neck. I've broken enough necks lately on my dolls, not on anybody else. Okay, so once we get it over the first little bit where we're starting to see the neck peg, we're going to soak it again in the same hot boiling water. Then we're going to pull it over the larger of the two bumps. Now this particular one didn't want to come off still, so I ended up putting her in for a third time. Maybe third time's a charm. Come on. Urgh. Yes! Finally. Whew. That in itself could be a workout. Next, we're going to sand down all the bumps on her arm. Like you can see, I've already worked on her arm, on her hand, and on her leg. This I found to be very, very hard. I used different grits of sandpaper. So using different tools with different grits of sandpaper on it, I just filed and filed. I spent hours filing. I finally ended up taking out the epoxy sculpt and smoothing out the leg once I got it down enough that I could do so without making the leg too thick. And then once it was cured, I sanded it again. While I had it out, I also did the body modifications. This way I can ensure that everything looks really nice and smooth. Now it's time to address the reroute and the taking off the face paint. So bye for now. Just kidding. Well, bye to the body for now anyway. These are some colors I got in a brunette mix from Dollplanet.com. I love the Dollplanet's hair. It's really good. She had said if I gave her highlights, to give her pink highlights, but I don't know. I think these are the 3 colors we're going to use. The almond, the Sephia, the Tuscan Sands maybe, and then maybe the metallic blush pink, but we'll see. For now, though, we got to take off her face paint. Now, my client did ask for an exotic makeup, so we're going to take off all the original makeup. And while we're at it, since we're changing the hair, we also got to take off the paint on the scalp. Good news is I won't have to repaint anything beneath it because it already matches the majority of the hair that I'll be using. So, and well, I tried delightful to get off a Nile in one shot. Didn't quite work, although it looks cool when you get just most of it in one go, but I still had to clean it after. I use a Q-tip to get into the really tight creases. And then once everything was nice and clean, I went over the whole head one more time with a little bit, with a pad soaked in acetone, just to make sure I had everything taken care of in that regard. Wow, she looks so cool. Now it's time for the reroute. So we're going to start with the Sephia. I think it's supposed to be sepia, but there's an H in the word, so maybe Sephia? Regardless of the color, just keep going. Just fill in one color at a time on each row. So first I do a row of the Sephia, followed by Tuscan Sands. It gives a nice variation, just like a salon would do. Pretty cool, huh? Continue on this way until you finish your reroute, keeping in mind that your placements of your parts. In my case, I had bangs and a part at the top to worry about. Once it's all done, glue it in place, let it sit overnight. And well, since I'm planning on using my airbrush on this doll, we're going to go ahead and put her head on now. Normally I would make it wait. Just take your time with it. I did warm it up a little bit with the hairdryer first and then slowly pushed it on. Once the head's back on, I go ahead and mask off the line. Now, I did wait for the glue to dry overnight. Actually, I think it was a couple days. Once everything is masked off and glued, the hairline is completely masked off and bundled away. It's time to prep her for her new skin. Using the Army Painter Warpaints, I want to give her, well, a similar skin tone. Pretty much it's going to look the same, but I want to match up the epoxy sculpt to the rest of her skin. Anyway, so first I set up my airbrushing station and I hung her by the hair from it. Oops. Poor girl. But it was just the best way to get everything so that I could hit it all at once. So we start with the primer. I do a coat. You don't have to do this too thick. Just you want a nice thin coat. You just want the paint to stick. Once the primer's dry, go in with your color. I do suggest cleaning your airbrush really good in between different kinds of paint, especially if you're going to let it sit for a while. Since this was the only thing I was airbrushing at the time, I was cleaning out in between every session. It does give a great finish though. Once she's fully covered and dry, hit her with some sealant, some matte sealant. I used the Duraclear stuff, but I watered it down and used it in my airbrush. Came out pretty good. After that, I gave her 2 coats of Mr. Super Clear, and once that was dried, face-up time. How do you like my new setup? I found a box that's meant for getting views from above, particularly for videos. I picked this up at Michael's. It was like $50. It's great. It comes with its own lighting. It comes with stuff for different places to put your camera so you can get a great view from above. So we start with blushing the doll, just like normal. I do honestly think that this was the best way to get you guys the best view of every face up. Believe me, I've tried a lot of different angles. This was just the best one. Make sure you blush anywhere where the paint might be chipping. Yes, it does still chip, unfortunately, in places, but, you know, you just gotta do your best to hit it with the blushing, and that will help. Sorry for the leap in progress. After another coat of Mr. Super Clear, I came back and I started the lips and I forgot to turn the camera on. Oops. So we're going to sketch out the eyes with a light color that's similar to the skin tone. This way, if you make a mistake, it's easy to cover it up. I also did go ahead and use a red watercolor pencil for her lips. I went ahead and also traced out the eyebrows. We'll be filling those in with a darker color later. I just wanted beginnings. Next, we're going to put on the eyeshadow. Sorry. I have this bad habit of picking up the doll and blowing on it that I developed before I had a YouTube channel. I'm trying to break it. Use an eraser to get any mistakes that you might make. In this case, I couldn't find my needed eraser, so I used one from a stationery set I recently got. I re-erased the eyebrow and I tried again. I wasn't satisfied with the first attempt on the one side. Okay, I think that's better. I went ahead and darkened in the lips a bit more. And I started going in with the bolder colors first with the eyebrows. And then with the with the eyeliner, drew the lines over the eyes as well. I also went about the bottom and filled in the bottom eyeliner, and then just above that will be the waterline, of course. I really do have more fun with the face-ups than anything. Okay, I also darkened up the edges of the iris first with a dark brown pencil, because she's going to have brown eyes. And I filled in the whites with a white pencil. Then I go into hit the waterline with some pink, as well as the edges of the sclera, and the corner of the eyes, such as the sclera and the we'll just call them the corners of the eyes. Now, since she wanted exotic makeup, I'm going to give her a little bit of the belly dancer makeup I do on myself. So we're going to make her look a little bit like a butterfly, but not so obviously so. Then we're going to fill in her iris with a lighter color brown. Give her that warm, chocolatey brown look in her eye. And I took a little bit of red to hit this glare again because it just was not showing up with the pink a little bit. Waterline looked great with the pink, but not so much. The best part about these is if you make a mistake and you can't erase it, you can go back with water and soap. Like, see that little mistake I made? Let's get rid of that. I might lose a little progress, but not much. See? Easily fixed. Gotta love watercolor pencils. Next, I take a gold color to add a little bit of details to the centers of her eyes, and then draw on the pupils. I give her some highlights with some white, just below the eyebrows and just at the corner of her eyes. I went ahead and took the belly dancer makeup really to heart. I really worked on making it really nice and cool. And this eyebrow needs to be a little longer to match the other one. A couple more individuals' hairs. Okay. Just keep working on trying to build up the color as much as you can with your pencils. Each layer of super clear saves it, kind of like a coat in Photoshop. I go ahead and use a little bit of gray to give a little dimension to the tops of the eyes, and a little bit more darker brown at the tops of the eyes to create a little bit of a shadow. I also went ahead and drew in the eyelashes on the bottom. And added some more eyeshadow to the top. And then the eyelashes on the bottom on the other side as well. By the way, I wanted to thank everybody who's commented on my videos so far, and I wanted to also thank everybody who has subscribed as well. You guys really are awesome, and I really love the encouragement you get. I also went ahead and used some white to add some highlights to the hairs in the eyebrows. And I added a little bit of bottom, kind of like a smoky eye makeup to the bottom of her lids, underneath her eyelids, bottom lids, and then darkened up the eyelashes again. No more highlights, and a little darker shadow to the corners. Finally, it's time for gouache. I wanted to make those eyes really pop and really look opaque, so I went ahead and broke out my gouache paints and started working on the irises. I also lifted some color off of the watercolor pencil I used for her lips and went over the creases. I just really wanted to make sure that that red really popped. Next, taking the golden color that did show up earlier in gouache. Well, with the watercolor pencils, it didn't show up, but with gouache, it did. Next, I go ahead and put the pupils back in with gouache. Taking my time, making sure they're in the right spots, the right size, and they match. And then they look in the same direction. Then I whiten the eyes, leaving out the parts that were gray. Just because we don't want them to be quite the same color. I brighten up the scleras. And then I gave her eye shines. Finally, I took a little bit of glue, and since the eyeshadow really is not showing up, I go ahead and put in some mica powder or microfine glitter. So I'm using some glue to make it stick, and then I'm putting the powder on top this way. Oh, and what the heck, let's make it look like she's got little flowers at those corners. Add a little bit more glue. First I did it in gold, and then I did it to the other parts of the lid in purple. Being very careful not to get it anywhere else in the face. As much as I can. And that gave it a much needed pop of color. By the way, if some of the footage in this video looks jerky, I do apologize. I think my SD card is wearing out. Okay, let's give those lips a little bit of sparkle too. So we're going to add some mica powder to that. First adding on the Liquitex gloss varnish. Then we're going to take just a tiny little bit of cherry red. Just to give it a little bit of a highlight in a couple areas on those lips. And to give it a nice sparkle. After that, I gave the eyes a little bit of love with just some Liquitex gloss varnish. And well, no, this isn't Cousin It. This is the doll after I boil washed her hair. See how all the parts lay down nicely? We got the bangs to the front, so let's first cut her bangs. When I say boil wash, I do mean literally, I literally hit the hair with boiling hot water from a tea kettle. It's the only way to get the hair to lay down right. After the bangs are cut, I heat up my metal chopstick with my straightening iron. I learned this from Delightful in her Aurora video. I'm not very good at cutting bangs, but I think those came out really nice. So let's cut her hair to the right, well, close to the right length. We're going to make it a little bit longer than it's supposed to be. She has about shoulder length hair and she curls it. Once I get the hair nice and trimmed to where I want it to be, which took a little bit, I go ahead and curl it all with the same method as I used on the bangs, except now I'm curling it around vertically around the hot chopstick. And I continue in this vein all the way around the head. Using these fabrics, I made her 3 outfits. The first one is a surprise. I made her a springy Lolita outfit. I took Delightful's patterns and made them bigger. I also made her a summer dress using Delightful's patterns and a petticoat. This one, though, stumped me. So I had a little fun. First, I made her a corset using that material. She really likes pinks and she really likes skulls, so I centered those skulls right in front and center. Then I made her an Elvira shirt, inspired shirt and skirt, but I made it short sleeved. Next, I took acrylic paints and I took out the shoes I got from Lady Dynamite that you saw at the beginning of the video, and I painted them to match the outfits. Since I wanted the skull and dagger shoes to match both, I made them pink with black and gold in it, and with realistic looking skulls. Then I made the butterflies really pop with a little bead in the center of polygel, and then I painted the wings white and then dry brushed them with gold and gave them a shimmer with some dragonfly glaze. I really love how these shoes came out. Okay. Yeah, the pink with the skulls dry brushed over black, and the gold of the dagger to make it pop. Those are just so cute. I made her some jewelry. I know it's around here somewhere. Think in this box? Huh? Oh, hey, Alexi. How are you doing? Welcome to my new cafe. It's not done yet, though, but it's in progress. My kitchen is here and nearly set up. I got a fridge. I still have a lot of stuff to do, though. But won't it be beautiful when it's all done? Lots of space here. Oh, but don't worry. You came all this way. I'm not going to let you leave empty-handed. Don't worry about that. How about a drink on the house? Okay. How about a raspberry refresher? I'll make that for you while you check things out. Here you go. One raspberry refresher for the road. And thank you so much for coming by. I really appreciate that you really wanted to check this place out. And thank all of you for watching my channel. I hope you enjoyed this video. I certainly enjoyed making this for my customer. I hope she loves her as much as I loved how she came out. I will miss the doll, but at the same time, I know she's going to be going to a great new home. Anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful day and a wonderful spring. Stay safe. Stay tuned. See you next time. Bye.